We're going to do something that has not been done before.
Welcome.
As those that read these words, or these, your word, predictions for 2017, we're going to create pauses and spaces within the sentence structures as we will speak. And you, those reading, will receive their own predictions, as you would call them, but they're visions of experiences to be entertained, for an example, or not entertained. The decision process is yours, always has been, always will be. But you have forgotten it. You've forgotten your triplicity, the triple self of you. You have the phrase, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. You have the expression that Christ is within you. You have the expression that God is all around. You have the expression that the Virgin Mother is present in nature. You have those expressions, or at least you say it. In the experience of you're going to call it divine presence that is around you, within you. The process now is waking up within inside you, instead of so much being influenced by I'm going to call it pressurized thought, pressure cooker, and thoughts and influences being pushed on you. And you, whether you know it or not, react automatically because it's a training process you grew up in. You don't know what discernment within the self is. There are 3 pyramids that you need to be concerned with. The first one we spoke of is the pyramid of your soul. The base is here.
Across the solar plexus.
Underneath your breast, across the solar plexus, and the sides come up to the throat chakra. Then you have the outer expression of you when you do your left hand across the diaphragm area, the right hand up toward your forehead. There's the second pyramid. It's the expression of your auric field that aligns it with your bones, your structure, because you don't have one unless you have bones. And then you have the third pyramid, which is this L shape of the right hand, index finger, thumb pointing to the left. Those are your 3 extensions. When you learn to manipulate these frequencies, this one, and the one inside aligns, then you have what is termed the calling. You know what a phone is. You call other people. The calling is the influence of this thumb. Your thumb. The tip of your thumb is the understanding of will. The thumb represents will. At the tip of the thumb is, whether you know it or not, is the image of Jesus Christ. And that image is the understanding thy will be done. But thy will be done is the understanding, keep you safe so you can learn. Because you're supposed to proceed and apply what is termed wisdom, you say. But apply what life is. Now, what life is a cubic form of energy, brilliant white light, that comes into you, and it's called breath. I know you think you breathe, but your breather comes in a cubic form. It looks like white like a sugar cube, but it's not textured like that. It's very smooth. It's pure breath. It's the breath of life. It's an entity. It knows it's the breath of life. It knows it. It knows it. And it's coming to instruct in that process. Now, with the breath of life comes a thought. There's a thought. The breath of life comes in you and it interacts with the process of you called thinking in here. Solar
In here,
plexus,
in the heart
heart chakra, solar plexus area, the inner triangle now.
Okay.
The inner triangle. You need to get you to understand thought inside you instead of the thought outside you. And then you can calm the thought inside you instead of reacting, which is most thoughts, what the process is in this world at this time. A reactionary thought. You have to understand the breath of life is there for you to understand the presence of all things. The presence of all things, including the invisible, between the trees, the space between the trees. That energy, that entity, that I'm going to call it pure, pristine force before manifestation. That empty space actually has an attraction, not gravity, not magnetic. It has a love force that it enters into the soil to reach the root of trees, to embrace the trees. And the concept of comfort. But that awareness is not current in your philosophies, nor in your wordings. Those that grow things in the soil are becoming aware of this. The necessity to not only talk to the seed you plant in the soil, but to talk to the soil and communicate with the water that's going into the soil. And then you're going to see what you've manifested. When you grow, you eventually, beings in your year coming, 2017, many are going to have to begin to grow their own food. The transportation will be sort of limited because of changes. And the delicate nature of the process of seasons is going to need to be understood. Right now, you beings are caught in your metaphysical understanding of numerological consequences. This is a 9-year, next year will be a 1 year, etc., etc. You're caught in your astrological, what you term systems.
Hello?
Channeling, what do you mean? Okay, thanks.
You're caught in your astrological systems in a manner to understand the expressions of beings outside of you influencing you, basically,
Sorry.
within your universal consciousness. Now, the process that the humanity is going through now, and you're aware of life forms in other galaxies and other distant forms and all of this, the process the human condition is going through now is the process of understanding what communication is. The necessity for it, the appropriate nature of it, and the purpose of it. The main purpose established for communication was to assure comfort for all ones. You have, before words, you had tones, harmony, music, you say music, but it was a harmony. And you could feel it and bless in it. You knew it, the trees knew it, all of nature knew it. And then you got caught into the human condition, got caught into itself as the only one, instead of sharing the experience of space. And then you have created what you call environments of religious belief systems which isolate and confuse ones, which is what is happening now all over your planet. It's the spiritual nature of we'll have to readjust that word, the spiritual nature. It's the inner essence of yourself that's beginning to understand its own spiritual forces within the paradigms of religions. Compare this and compare that and compare that. And you're caught up in personalities, not into the fearlessness of yourself. Because in the self there is this inner justification, yet an unawareness of the willingness to perform your true purpose. Because the true purpose is the understanding of support for others in a manner. And this thing, and by thought. This is what, how your structure came up with the prayer thing. Now, you're going to begin to feel in your year 2017, it's already started now, coming in through after your September, you're going into a new phase. And that new phase is the feeling in the inner essence of the Holy Spirit, which is another force that beings are heard the name of, but are not familiar with the power of it. Because that's the force that allows humans to have blood in their systems. It's the force that wraps around your bones and allows your blood to be reduced into the bone. That's what it does. And that inner blessing has been forgotten. It's been taken for granted for quite a while. Yet now I'm going to call it the secret nature of blood. Is going to begin to be understood, how important it is in you, because it not only sends oxygen to the body, it also communicates in a language that you're not familiar with yet. It's a tearful language, yet but tears of joy, and with the ability to express and provide life. It knows it's doing that. And it looks forward to going to the heart and returning to the heart and all of that. It has that sense of journey. It knows, and it looks forward to coming back, and it knows what it's doing. It knows where it has to go. Yet in your human condition things, your thoughts interfere. Your thoughts interfere. You've got what do we call... Well, you beings use the word judgment against this, about that, not that. But it's not. That's a word you understand. But it's also a weight. It's a weight. It's heaviness. It's really a constrictive force in the awareness of the appropriate nature of your true self. You're all aware of what good and bad is. You're aware of it. You participate in it. But the feeling now in your 2017, is going to be the Holy Spirit. And that's a cleaning process. It's a self-reflection process. It's not an outer reflection. It's a self-reflection. There's going to be a lot of inner reflecting in your year coming, a lot of inner tears, a lot of, we're going to call it competitive compassion with yourself, and the inner dignity to be recovered, where you have this inner forgiveness required, because you have not yet understood. You understand basically you create your reality. You've heard those words. But you're not aware yet of how you create personalities in others in the interaction of space and time. How it's been decided, to be played, to be understood, to accomplish what is termed the overcoming the Babel concept. What is occurring now in your world, the new newness is coming. You're going to have a new spiritual teacher show. You've heard the name. It's in your books. The presence is coming. It's Maitreya. It's a new world spiritual leader. But he does things not according to tradition. Tradition is going to change. It's going to shift. And when it shifts, the awakening within is the aha. It's the peace and grace that you were born with to be establishing here. That's what's going to occur. And you're going to begin to find out that when you plant a flower, the flower is going to talk to you. When you plant a tree, the tree is going to talk to you. When you plant anything, it's going to talk to you. You're going to find out that your creatures will talk to you because you're going to talk at another level of language. It's going to be the ancient reptilian portion of your brain. You say reptilian. It's the ancient portion of you waking up that knew of this a long time and desired to be present when the, how you say, Jubilee, the great party begins, the great awakening where everyone recognizes everyone as being the same in a manner, yet enjoy an ecstasy. You have 5 fingers on your right hand. Most humans do. 5 fingers on your left. You have 5 toes on your left foot, 5 toes on your right foot. You have 2 legs, 2 arms, and a head. You have a body. You all look alike in appendages. You're the same. And in the intermission portion of the, what do you call, intermission, like you have a movie, there's an intermission, then you go back. Well, you're in the intermission portion of yourself now. And this 2017 coming is going to be the end of the intermission. You're back into the working of the inner self. And the equality and equalness of all beings. Yeah? Because the hearts are going to start to beat together. The hearts are going to beat together. You're going to hear a harmony come. You're going to hear it. A sound. It'll be musical. There'll be no, let's see, airplanes or someone pushing it. They'll be attempting to do that, to say it's them sending this frequency. But it's going to come from the, what we'll term the inner space, the invisible, the space that you don't see who's there. It's going to come from there to calm the children. It's going to be a lullaby. And there'll be the sleepiness and the tendency to pause whatever you're doing and be reflected upon. Be reflected upon. The presence will reflect upon, and you will be reflecting within it. So you're going to enter a state of grace, and that state of grace will say, after the turmoil of March, will begin to become apparent in your opportunities called May and June. You have this present being presented to you. And the anticipation of this present causes a journeying in the mind. But just understand the presence there is already known, and you know what you're about to receive in the inner portion of your being, and therefore the outer portion will reflect and adjust to it, because these are going to be the gifts from the presence, from the invisible presence to the physical presence. And like any what is termed special gift, you need to be cautious with it. And this is where your January and February of 2017 are going to be into a lot of confusion. Everyone's going to claim they are who they're not, or more than they are. And this is the flag. From now on, particularly in your 2017, you need to listen to inside here, because the sides of your soul pyramid are going to be tapped, and it creates a harmonic in you, and that harmonic comes up and it has a word of itself. It has a movement. It has an authority. over space. Your bodies are going to seem to be changing. You're going to see the outline of your auric fields on your hands. You're going to see the other arms that are there, that are overlay, that are over here sometimes, and over here. You're going to see what is termed the angelic forces of your nature come through you. They enter the chakras that are at your shoulders here and go out the 7 chakras that are behind your shoulder blades. There's a breath. There you beings interpret those things as wings, but it's an energy vortexes that you're learning to control. So you actually affect the space behind you as you walk. And as you begin to feel more comfortable with this process, the front of your shoulders begin to extend forward a little bit to understand the space you're going into. The heart chakra opens as a platform, and you end up sort of sitting in a chair there, experiencing yourself walking. These are part of the processes you're going through. You're going to find out you don't have to sit and meditate because you are constantly in a meditation when you're walking. Whenever you're doing something, you're in a meditation. You just forgot. That principle is coming forth for what we're going to call the exclusion of the limitation of time. Time. Time is going to seem to expand and then collapse. What we've said before, the time is a direction. It's up and down. Future, past. You go through a spiral cycle like this. And that's why beings have memories of a time on this side of the spiral. Did this thing. Same thoughts are coming back, but at a little higher performance, so you don't get caught in the same garbage you got caught in down here, but you're on the same side of the spiral. Thoughts are just higher on this spot, so you know, and the same on this side. The left side of the spiral is your educational process. What you've done and to do not do again. The right side of the spiral is what is termed the power to bring you up for more knowledge. It's the black of the yin and the yang, because you're both. The yin, left, yang, and they're communicating now. And they're in you. They're not in someone else and not you. You're learning to understand where the seed is. It's called seed thought. It's in here. It's an inner ancient desire. It's an inner ancient desire to run through the woods and produce your food and play in the trees. Because you didn't have physical experiences, what you call spiritual force. You could see it, you could watch participations, but you couldn't participate. The only way you could participate is really participate, is get into the understanding of the manufacture of blood, which the Holy Spirit does for you. But humanity does not thank the Holy Spirit for the production of the blood. No. It goes to a hospital to get more blood from someone else. The inner prayer is just a thank you, an acknowledgement, and then it comes. It's there. It's there. If you could understand when you cut yourself, your blood actually talks to you. And I don't mean to get into the sadistic aspect of cutting to talk. No. But when you accidentally injure your arm, the blood will talk. Listen. Usually it'll tell you to slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Your year 2017 is a birth year. It's a 1. Be aware of that. You're also aware of your news media now, of the global conflicts and the global intensities and all of everyone is moving all over. And the anger. The divine supportive beings that are sending energy here are answering prayers because prayers are what opens the door. You have to know how to say a thing within a context of dignity and respect, and when in manner of pleading. Because you're at the bottom of the barrel here. And the many beings now understanding what meditation and calling forth is, what prayer does, that are getting answers now. So you're going to have to listen and feel the presences as they arrive and know who they are. The influence is felt inside. You're going to have a lot of distraction from the outside. Just remember the 3 pyramids. The 3 pyramids align things. Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And directs it right here through the 6th seal, which opens the channels for your spine, your bones, to receive acknowledgement of more overlays, which is your body performance, your manifesting abilities from the light outward. Yeah. The month to be cautious is the end of your January, in the beginning of February. And then you're going to have, you beings wanted these predictable things, but they're alterable. Now in February you have a weak note there at the end of the month. A weak note. So center yourselves in the presence of yourself. Find a religion you're comfortable with, not one that's antagonistic to another, that offers a prayer of simplicity and help for the self. Each religion has specific prayers for the health and safety of the inner self. Use those, not those that attack other beings. It'll be, number 1, insufficient for protection of yourself, and number 2, you'll be attracting that force unto the correction of yourself. So you look for the idea of pure prayer, what it means, what it does. And then you have the Om Namah Shivaya chants will help. That's a hint.